Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing well out there. In today's video I wanted to recount my evening that I spent at the Ringo Starr concert. This was about I think 3 weeks ago now, and the reason it took me so long to do this video is that the tickets that I purchased were VIP tickets, and so I was fairly close to the stage. And along with the VIP tickets, you get some extra goodies and things like that. But I found out after the concert that those items are being shipped to the address that I live at. And so the email that I received about that said that they could show up to 30 days later. So I was kind of waiting for those items to show up. And at this point, they still haven't shown up yet. So I figured I'd just make this video to get it out there. Well, stuff is still kind of in my memory and I kind of remember what was going on that evening. But I'm assure you that as soon as I get those items in the mail, I'll put them in a video so you guys can see what is all included in that. So, like I said, this is about 3 weeks ago, I think now. And yeah, I opted for the VIP tickets, so I was ended up being the 5th row back from the stage, which is probably the closest I've been at any concert of this, this caliber. I was really close. It was really nice. I didn't have to stare at the monitors or the screens up above the stage the whole time, which is nice. So I left for the concert, and on the way I wanted to stop at Barnes & Noble. I had a little bit of extra time. So I stopped there. I remember last time I was in there, they had the green vinyl variant of the Ringo's Rotogravure album, and I wanted to stop in there and see if they still had it, but unfortunately it was not there. I was sure that it was going to still be there, but it was gone. So I did some other looking around while I was there, and not related to the Ringo concert at all, but I did pick up something, and I figured why not just show it here to get it out of the way. I did see they had one copy of the Yesterday soundtrack, and so I picked that up. You can see the track listing there. I went and saw the movie in the theater, and it was, I think the singer here, he did a really good job. I really enjoyed his interpretations of the Beatles songs, and so I decided to pick this up, if nothing else for a collector's piece. But yeah, I definitely will be listening to it from time to time. So the first record has labels like that, and then the second album has kind of an Abbey Road type label on both sides. And then also, after I picked that up, I decided to go over to the magazine racks and see what they had there for magazines. And I was able to find this, the Ultimate Music Guide to Ringo Starr. And I figured since I was going to see Ringo, why not pick this up? I do have the George Harrison version of this too. And this is a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, which I think all that means is it's got a different cover than the regular version. But it's a really nice thick magazine. Yeah, here you can see they got all 4 of them. I do have this one, but it goes into detail of all his involvement with the Beatles, and let's see, later on we get into some of his solo albums. I think it basically goes over every solo album that he did. Kind of goes track by track and gives details on that. Then it gives a rating. Goes through all his film and TV appearances. So if you're able to catch this on the newsstand still, to be sure and check it out. It's a really interesting magazine. So here we got one of the albums they talk about there. So yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. So that's that. So after that, I headed off to the concert. I ended up spending a little bit more time in Barnes & Noble than I wanted to, so I got to the concert about a half hour before the show started. which was really no big deal. I went to will call and picked up my ticket, and the concert didn't start until about 15 minutes after the start time that was listed anyway, so I had plenty of time there. I went and checked out the gift shop, or not the gift shop, but the merchandise stand, and I decided I'd get a t-shirt. I usually like to get a t-shirt every time I go to a concert, just as a souvenir for that. And I should mention that this is only the second time that I've seen Ringo. The first time was in 2001, and I got this shirt here. But this was the shirt that I picked up. It doesn't have his picture on it, but it does say Ringo Starr's 30th anniversary here. And this was the main reason I picked this shirt over the other 2 or 3 that were available. Was this one had the actual venues that the tour was at. The other ones did not have that. So I wanted to get that so I could see what was all included on the tour there. And then I saw they had, like there was 3 or 4 shirts. They had some couple posters, a tour program, some buttons. Let's see. Not a whole lot of stuff for merchandise. Not like when at the Paul McCartney concerts that I've been to. They usually have a lot more stuff there. But anyway, going into the concert, I was the 5th row back. I was right on the aisle, which was nice. And the other nice thing was the seat right to there was the aisle, the seat next to me, and then that was me. The seat to the left of me was open the whole night. Nobody bought that ticket apparently, or they didn't show up, so I had a nice open seat there. But let's go into the concert here now. The band that Ringo has put together for this tour, and I think this has been the same band for several years now, but the members of the All Starr Band are, of course, Ringo Starr himself. And on guitar they have Colin Hay, who was in the band Men at Work, and guitarist Steve Lukather, who is best known for his work with Toto, and Greg, let's see, is it Rowley or Raleigh? I can't remember the pronunciation of his last name, but he was one of the original founding members of Santana. And there was also Hamish Stewart, who was in the Average White Band, and he also toured and recorded with Paul McCartney as well later on. And on drums, when Ringo was singing on drums, they had Greg Bissonette. I'm not for certain what other artists he's played with, but he's a really great drummer. I know that. And then finally there was Warren Ham. He was kind of an instrumentalist. He played saxophone, and he did keyboards and kind of some percussion stuff. He was kind of all over. He did a little bit of everything there, so he kind of filled out that section of the concert. And yeah, it was really good. I had a great time. The one thing that I will mention is that this was one of the strictest concerts I've been to in a long time, as far as cell phones taking pictures and videos and things. Now, I've seen other videos on YouTube where people have lots of videos and it didn't seem like they had any trouble at all. So that makes me wonder, was this actually Ringo's people that don't want pictures taken, or was it the venue itself that didn't want pictures taken? I'll show you a quick picture here of one of the announcements they had on the screen before the show started. So there you can see that it has, please do not take pictures, don't take any videos, or you'll be asked to leave and delete all your pictures and everything. I've never seen that before at a concert. The last time I was at a concert that had people actually physically going around and telling people to stop was, I believe, 2012 when I went to see Bob Dylan. For him, I was able to take a few pictures, and then somebody, they said, put your phone away, please. So I was like, okay, I just won't push it, and I put my phone away. And for this concert, right when, before the concert started, I got a couple pictures of the stage and everything. And once Ringo came on stage, I was able to snap one picture, and then quickly another picture, and then before I knew it, there was a guy behind me tapping me on the shoulder telling me to put my phone away. So I was like, all right, that's fine. I got a couple pictures. I'm happy with that. So I put my phone away and just left it all night. But there was people around me. They were taking video, and they were, oh man, the security was coming over and telling them to stop several times. But nobody ever got kicked out that I saw, but they were being very strict the entire time, which was kind of unfortunate. But I guess you did enjoy the concert a little more when you weren't staring at your phone the whole time. So there's advantages and disadvantages to it, I guess. Anyway, so once the concert started, I'll just quickly read through the set list here. So with Ringo Starr and his All Star Band, they got all the different All Stars that have hits with other bands. So you got a lot of their hits thrown in there too, which is nice. So you basically know every song that they're going to perform pretty much. So we started out with Ringo singing Matchbox, It Don't Come Easy, and What Goes On. And then we had Greg Raleigh singing Evil Ways from Santana. And then we go to Toto's song Rosanna. And Average White Band had their song Pick Up the Pieces. And then we go to Men at Work, sing Down Under. And then Ringo came back to sing Boys, Don't Pass Me By, and Yellow Submarine. And then we had Cut the Cake by Average White Band, Black Magic Woman from Santana. And then Ringo sang You're 16. And then he sang the song Anthem. This is a song I'd never heard before. To me, this almost seems like his kind of give peace a chance type of song, or Paul McCartney's Freedom, that kind of song that they sing at their concerts. So that's the first time I heard that, and it was a pretty decent song. I enjoyed it. And then we have another Men at Work song, Overkill. I'd never heard that one before, but they did a pretty good job. And then Toto's Africa, Work to Do, which is an Isley Brothers song, but I believe Hamish Stewart said that was the first track off of their first album for the Average White Band. Santana's Oye Como Va. And then Ringo sang I Want to Be Your Man behind the drum kit there. He was playing drums and sang that, which was cool. Men at Work's Who Can It Be Now? Toto's Hold the Line. And then to wrap up the concert, Ringo sang Photograph, Act Naturally, and With a Little Help from My Friends. Now what was funny, going back to the security and the photos and everything, once they got to With a Little Help from My Friends, I think pretty much everybody knew that was there. That was the last song for the evening. He didn't do any encores or anything like that. So With a Little Help from My Friends, everybody was taking their cameras out and taking pictures, and security just stood there and let them do it. So I don't understand the whole security issue there. And one other thing I was going to point out as well, again, sorry to beat a dead horse here, but the security issue, so the security was being really strict with these people. Well, about halfway through the concert, there was an older gentleman. He walked up to the front of the stage. He leaned on the stage with his camera and was taking a picture of Ringo. And Ringo, he posed for the guy. He got down on one knee, gave him the peace symbol, and he stood there, and the guy took his picture or two or whatever he took. And immediately security runs across and grabs the guy and walks him to his seat. And then as the security guy was walking back to his position on the left side of the stage, Ringo looks at the guy and shakes his head and starts marching behind the guy. And it makes me think that it wasn't really Ringo that cared too much about the pictures, but the venue itself. But anyway, so yeah, after the concert wrapped up, I decided to go back out to the merchandise stand quick, and I was debating whether to get this or not, but then I went back and I finally picked it up. It was the tour program from 2019. I believe this is the same tour program as 2018. There's just a couple pages that are maybe different, and the date is different, of course, but this is a really nice tour program to get to. It's got a lot of good pictures, a lot of information. There's Ringo's album from last year that came out. So we'll just kind of go through this I'll show you what's all included in this here. Got a nice little message there at the beginning from Ringo. Just lots of really good pictures here. And then it goes into the detail about each of the members of the All Stars. It gives a little background of what other bands they were in and things like that. And there's a nice group shot of the entire band there. And then another nice thing that's included here, this, from 1989 to 2019, there's 30 years of All-Star bands. So this is the list of all the different artists that have been in the All-Star Band, which is very nice. And it gives the dates on, when they performed. There's a lot of good information there. Different stage designs over the years. Just lots of really good stuff in here. This is the first tour program I've ever bought at a concert too. Any other concert I've been to, I've never picked these up, but maybe that's something I should start doing now. And so here we got all the dates from the 2019 tour. I believe there's actually more dates than this. They were probably added after this was printed out, but so yeah, that wraps up my experience seeing Ringo Starr and the All Star Band for his 30th anniversary tour. Hopefully, he's 79 years old. He was on stage jumping around, singing, doing jumping jacks. By the end, he was still doing that. He just seems like he's got lots of energy, and I don't see any reason why he can't continue to do this well into his 80s as well. So we'll be definitely looking forward to that. And that's pretty much all I have to say, except for peace and love. See you guys on the next video.